goodness. Hi, everyone, and welcome. My name is Flora Daisy. Oh my goodness. Please say hi in the comment section. I promise you we can see you live, so do not feel shy. This show is called Diverse Perspective, and we want to hear everyone perspective. Again, my name is Flora Bezi. I am a digital accessibility expert and founder at Linoratech. Linoratech is just an incredible company with the value and mission to help tech leaders and professionals create more inclusive and accessible digital product like website, PDF, or much more. But today I want to talk to you about something specific. I want to talk to you about someone's journey from coding to more accessible coding. And I have the perfect guest speaker for that. Oh my goodness. This person is just incredible. She has 15,000 followers on LinkedIn. And you know that if you get this big number, you're probably doing something right. She's sharing a lot of content around coding, she's sharing her passion around accessibility. And when I connected with her, oh, she is such an incredible person to talk to. But before I invite her right here, I want to take the chance to kind of self-describe myself. I think that is important to do that because it gives an inclusive experience to everyone. Because in the audience, we may have people with low vision, people who are blind, and so much more. So let me describe myself. I am a black woman with long braid, twisted braid, and I always have a smile on my face. That's basically me, okay? And I'm wearing today a red suit and a dress. Let's just say it that way. Again, please, if you're joining me at any point in time, just say hi in the comment section. Like I said, I promise we can see you. I'm going to bring my guest speaker now and we can start talking, okay? Hi, Sweta. How are you
Hi,
doing?
Flora. I'm doing great. How are you doing?
I am fantastic. Oh my goodness. I am so happy that you've decided to join me on the show and share a lot more insight. Before we start, can you just introduce yourself? Tell me what you do and what you're passionate about.
Hello, everyone. I'm Shweta Upadhyay, a passionate UI UX designer, and I completed my graduation in the year 2022 with bachelor's in computer science and engineering. My journey started into coding, computers, and everything from a long back. Like I was very much passionate about art and craft. So like I have a little brother and I myself have studied from ICSE board, so we had this kind of projects, where was this SUPW projects where we had to make a lot of things, paperbacks and a lot of stuffs. So I was the one in charge in our family to make such things. So from there my orientation gradually turned to coding, computers, websites and whatnot. And as you might be aware, in India, as students, we explore a lot of websites, like for giving different kinds of exams, competitive exams, government exams and so on. So from there I started my journey into coding with basics like HTML, CSS, JavaScript, Bootstrap, and I was completely into developing like websites. So gradually, after I completed my graduation, I joined a startup in Bangalore, and there I was like into a live project with completely new frameworks in JavaScript. So I was like fascinated by this world of tech. You can understand that working with frameworks and everything is all new. But one thing in this journey from the beginning as well as till now has struck my mind is about how people are able to access any website. I mean, there are a lot of things you can consider in websites, like a button. You will know what a button will do. If it's written login and it's doing sign up, then that's like compromising part. So from here, I gradually came to UI UX design, and now I'm here designing with accessibility principles. So that's a bit about myself.
Oh wow, I love it. I love it. So basically you graduated with technology in mind, but you started, around crafting and then migrated toward coding and migrated toward designing. I think that for me personally, I think that designing and coding is really, there are keys to inclusivity and accessibility for product, because you guys, these two roles are the one that craft the end product at the end of the day, right? I see a few people saying hi, so let's check. I see Damesh is here. He said, "Whoa, moments better." Okay. I see Dharmesh saying she's so good. Oh, thumbs up. Okay, thank you, Dharmesh. I see him. He's really passionate about today's topic then. Dr. Rocky say hello from Ottawa. Hi, Dr. Rocky. So happy to be here. Please say hi in the comment. Do not feel shy. This session, this platform is really for everyone. So please say hi, feel engaged with us, ask questions. You can use the comment section again, and we will answer those questions live, because I have the right person here with me, Sweta is here with me, so she's gonna tell you everything. What I love about you, Sweta, is that you have started your journey, but you have already incredible amount of followers on LinkedIn, and I'm pretty sure it's not probably just LinkedIn. But I want to know, most leaders, when I'm speaking with leaders, right, in technology and also business owners, they all want tech people like developers or designers to really create content and product that are inclusive and accessible to everyone. So can you tell me, how did you learn about accessibility? How did that journey started for you?
Yeah, sure. So accessibility is something that is, I mean, it's not obligation, it's our responsibility as designers, you say, as developers, or like you mentioned, as leaders or business persons. So how I came across accessibility is like, I'll say, mainly through websites, navigation, and everything. So my personal experience, like I mentioned in the start, that we have to see, students have to register in various government websites for exams and whatnot. I personally found like there were many issues to understand. Like I could not understand where I need to go to maybe download a brochure for a course, say for example, or I was not sure where I could see my results for my 10th or 10 plus 2 exams. So these things gradually made me come to the part of accessibility. Like it's not about that disabled people only need to be considered when it comes to accessibility. It's just everyone. There is one thing or the other that might a person might lack. Like I being like tech savvy, I could be in initial level, so I may not know where I have to go and this. So I think in current like tech professionals and whoever are there in businesses, they are like obliged to know about accessibility, and they expect the persons they hire, be it a developer, be it a designer, to make inclusive products. It not only increases the like customer relations, like enforces, but also helps to grow the company in general. That's what I think.
Definitely. And I agree with you. I think that definitely understanding and creating codes that are inclusive and accessible benefit everyone, not just people with disabilities, but everyone, like you said. And I think that definitely as well, leaders should give a chance to the tech people to learn better about accessibility. As you said, for you, it started with curiosity. You started wondering, how can I create codes that are more inclusive and accessible? And as you asked yourself that question, you started looking, are they coding example, snippet, something that you can leverage and use directly the right way in your code? There are a lot of content out there. There are a lot of websites that provide also information, but sometimes it's still a little bit confusing for developers to know how to properly implement them and even properly understand them. I want to ask the audience a question now. How did you learn about accessibility in your own journey? I would say for me, I was also like you, Sweta. I was a developer. I've learned about accessibility a little bit here and there, but it's really when I was looking for a new job opportunity in the state, I got interviewed by a person, a very techy person, who asked me, if you were to shop online, how will you do that if you were blind? And I was like, wait a minute. how do blind people shop online? That was a big question for me. And so I answered, well, with a little bit of humor to the person that I will drop my mouse in the trash, because a person who's blind will not know where to click to engage. And the person just laughed. This person was actually blind. So, see, this is how my journey started, and I started learning a little bit more about accessibility. But I'm curious. Please drop in the comment, how did you learn about accessibility? Was it based on the project? Was it maybe you were looking for a new job opportunity? Or maybe like Sweta, you had a project for the school and you were supposed to do more things and you got more curious? Or maybe it's something different. I'm always curious to know how people learn about accessibility. I know for some leaders, it could be because of laws and regulation, and sometimes you get lawsuit or fines, and then they have to really start accommodating for inclusion and accessible. But you know what, it's good to learn about something. Now let me ask you another question, Sarah, since you are here and you can educate us a little bit more. How? Oh, but before we get to that, should I probably share a little bit of where people can find information about accessibility? Where did you usually find information about accessibility, Swera? I'm just curious, just from your experience.
Yeah, so basically, like I had done a course recently related to UI UX design, and there was one standard that was mentioned about like WCAG, like Web Content Accessibility Guidelines. So basically, I followed that one. Like I searched a bit about it. What are some of the principles? To list one of them, I would say if I had a say a create page, I'm developing someone to fill up a form to register for a website. So there can be two options for the user to save or cancel. Say we generally use the color code of green and red for save green then cancel it's red. By inherently we know what will the buttons will do by seeing the color. But say if I'm using and I'm color blind and I cannot differentiate between those two colors, so how will I know? Maybe it's written save and cancel, but if the font size and typography is too small to know, then from color he or she will not be able to distinguish. So in such case, what this accessibility guidelines state that we can use patterns. Like in buttons, we can use some dots or maybe some squares, triangles to differentiate between the two buttons, so that the person may know this is going to save my data and this is going to cancel it. So that's how I usually work.
Oh, I love it. I love it. And that is so true. Some people use color to indicate information, but you should not use color only for, to convey an information. Because, like to your point, some people are color blind, and some people are also blind. So not only you are not helping, you're actually not helping a lot of people if you do that. So you have to definitely bring some patterns or something else, or maybe proper labeling of the button will also help other people know the difference, right? And I love that. I want to share actually my screen and show what is the WCAG page about, and then we'll get back to the next question, which I'm excited also about. All right, so let me see if I can share it. Sharing sometime it's a bit crazy on this platform, but hopefully I'm able to do a good job doing so. All right, so we have this one right here. I'm gonna show you yes, this one. So basically, this is just a website for WCAG, which Swera has mentioned, Web Content Accessibility Guidelines. So it has a set of guidelines that goes from understandable, perceivable, operable, and so much more. So you can check each of those guidelines and implement them if you are coding or if you want your content to be inclusive and accessible. But they also have the French version, which sometimes people are not aware of. So this is the English version, but you can also get the French version, which is this one. And so this one is also the is the translated version, okay? And so it's in French. So if you are helping and working with projects that are in French and you need to, get the guideline to apply to that, again, ça, c'est en français. This document is totally in French, so you can leverage that as well to showcase inclusion and accessibility for perhaps French clients, French project. So I think that it's just wonderful because these guidelines are actually used by many countries. Like Sweta said, Sweta is in India and she uses these guidelines to help with her project. Some people live in Canada, some people are in the United States, some people are in Europe. You can use these guidelines to help make project inclusive and accessible. And so I love them. So those guidelines are actually global. Sweta, another question for you. Now, I've noticed that the new generation cares a lot about inclusion and accessibility in user experience. Can you tell me why, at least from your perspective?
Yeah. So in today's generation, gradually, like I mentioned, in countries like India, at a very young age, we are like aware of these websites and everything. We have to access it, understand it on our own, and so on. So like people like me, they would always have this curiosity principle to know like why I cannot access it. Maybe it's not just about, like I mentioned, disabled people only. Why can I not access it? Am I not like very much into tech? Do I really need to know tech to be like use a website? So I think these questions comes into mind very often for my, and like my brother is also into tech. So I think in today's generation this is a very important point, and it also involves the social impact, not only just for the users but in general. So I think that is why it's really important for today's generation. That's why people are putting in a lot of efforts from the start of their career to like go ahead with their career in inclusivity and everything.
Definitely, definitely. I think that inclusion and accessibility is really, really important for all generation, and especially the new generation, like you said. I've noticed that many people in the new generation love to use their mobile phone to navigate website, to fill out form, to do whatever because they are always either on the go or they're busy somewhere or they're doing something. So having that flexibility with responsive design is also a good thing. Accessibility can make interfaces intuitive, meaning simple. Before, in the past, we used to crowd website with a lot of content, and then when you present them on mobile devices or tablet, it's actually very crazy, and sometimes it doesn't even work properly. So accessibility kind of clean up the interface so that it becomes intuitive and easy for everyone. And like Sweta said, with accessibility, we also take in consideration color, right? The good contrast. Again, some people check their mobile on the go. They can be facing high luminosity and your website have low contrast. They won't be able to read the information properly. But with good contrast, it really doesn't matter what you open and where you open your content. It allows legibility and visibility to everyone. I mean, we can go on and on about the different benefits and things like that, but I think everyone can really benefit from having good accessibility practices in content, in product, in solution. One thing that I really, really want to know also, Swera, is I've noticed that you are engaging a lot of people in your platform. I mean, you have 15,000 followers on LinkedIn. Right now, I am close to 5,000 followers. I mean, what is the secret? I know that you have been helping a lot of people who are in the tech, but can you tell a little bit to the audience what kind of content are you sharing? What kind of content get engagement from your platform?
Yeah, sure. So, like you mentioned, you have 5,000 followers. Around 1 year back, I had only 2,500 followers at this point of time. So, I think engagement factor is mostly like how much we are making things. Again, accessibility is coming here. Like you see, what kind of materials to follow in tech, what are the right resources and everything. Not everyone is like aware. Like if you have someone to guide you, then you are aware what resources to follow, where to get the resources, and so on. But for people like me, especially like I am the elder sister in my home, so I do not have anyone to guide me. All I have to do is depend on myself. So thinking about people like that, I decided to start sharing stuffs related to coding. Mainly every day I post at around 9 a.m. about a JavaScript quiz. I'll post it on a daily basis from Monday to Friday to help people understand various concepts. Like we often overlook some concepts. It's not possible as person to know 100% of any topic. So I post stuffs on that. Then there are about UI UX designs. Like I also make YouTube videos on some, like how you can use Figma to design some stuffs and so on. So I'll say, like, if developers, we think that what can I do for engagement, like what will I post, why will people interact to my post. Even I thought like that in the beginning, but actually this LinkedIn community, I'll tell you, is so good. They engage, they learn from it, and they also share your posts to others. So you are increasing reach not only to your audience but also to their audience, and the graph keeps on growing. So that's how it is. I think that's the secret.
Oh, I love it. I love it. One of the reasons I might say why I ask you this question is to share with the audience. My audience usually are CEOs, C-suite leaders, directors, managers, and incredible tech people, professionals, and also incredible people with disability in any other places. The reason why I ask you this question is to showcase to the audience that you are not just talking, you are doing the work. You are sharing something that you have learned and you are passionate about helping others learn as well. I love that you said, I am committed, I am sharing. So, just the audience, so you know, learning about something and getting more engagement, either be during maybe you are trying to launch a new initiative in your company. Pace yourself. The work has to be progressive. Like Sweta said, she said she is doing the work every day. She is sharing every day. So if you're starting a new initiative around accessibility and you get less engagement at the beginning, do not feel disappointed. Do not feel like it's not gonna work. Keep on going, and then you will see better results as you go forward. Okay, so what she is saying, I am actually at the 5,000. She was in the 2,000. Now she's in the 15,000. It just showcases her commitment toward the thing she is passionate about. If you are trying to learn about accessibility, don't feel scared. Don't feel disappointed. Don't drop the ball. Keep on in the journey. I want to ask you another question, Sweta, and it's about really how can people learn to be more confident? Sometimes when I speak with people, like tech people usually don't like to talk more in front, or maybe they don't want to share more. Not because they don't know, it's just that they sometimes many of them are introverted. Many of them feel like maybe they don't have enough knowledge to share. They might feel like, oh, there is a problem with this code for accessibility, but I don't know if the leaders are going to hear me. So, or maybe it could be a leader who want to share something with the team, but they feel like, oh, maybe they will not fully understand. So, how can we be more impactful, be more confident? And even if we don't know everything, can we still share? I want to know, how can someone be more impactful? I mean, within organization or just in the public sphere? Do you have any tips?
Yeah, sure. So, like you mentioned very well, we tech people, including me, I was myself an introvert. I could not, like, I had a very severe fear of public speaking. And the very first time I had to face the public was during, COVID times. I had to host a event at my university. I was like in complete nervousness, shocked, and how will I handle, but it was so smooth. Like my mentors trusted me so much that no, you have to do it, you have to give it a try. So many a times one tip would be, to find a mentor. Like when you are guided properly, you will be like encouraged to go through it. And even if you lack mentors, say at times you might not always, the mentors may not always be available, so there could be chances like this conference like we are having now, you can participate in such conferences, you can read articles, you can write. There are millions and millions of articles on stuffs, and it's all readily accessible. Then there are short reel videos you can see in YouTube. There are real shorts. Then there is Instagram for, coding related, non-coding, accessibility, almost every topic, even cooking related. So you can just go through that. And about sharing stuffs, I would say, like I share even other stuff as well. Like maybe you are sharing something and I just repost it with my thoughts or just share it with my audience, so that can also help it to build up the confidence.
Oh, I love it. I love it. So you heard it from the expert. There are many ways you can use to build confidence. So if you feel shy today about advocating for the things you are passionate about or advocating for accessibility, stop it. Swear I said it. There are many options out there, so you don't have any excuses today, okay? So please, if you are liking what you're hearing, react to this even react to this episode and share it with more people. I think that it's incredible to have someone like Swera sharing with us her journey toward accessibility. It all started with curiosity and wanting to help more people. I love also that she's saying that she was shy at the beginning and she was scared at the beginning, but she did it anyway. She learned with different means that are out there that are quite simple, right? Because whether you said if you see maybe a post, you can just start by engaging. And if this is in your organization, just raise up your hand and share something. Share your thoughts. It's okay. Even if it's not perfect, the worst you can get in organization is maybe what? A silence treatment? That doesn't hurt people. I mean, I don't think it does, but it's okay to take a silent treatment. Maybe you will hear, no, not right now, because maybe that's something that is not part of the big, project or vision or mission. But maybe you might get someone who say, oh my goodness, we didn't even think about that part. Thank you so much for sharing your thought. And you will be impacting more and more people. I mean, there are many ways to really help create more inclusive experiences. And I really, really wish you to just put yourself out there, have a little bit of courage, and move forward. Sweta, where can people connect with you?
People can connect on LinkedIn. Like I always have the LinkedIn info. There are like lots of people DM me about I need help on this, on this. So you can reach out to me on there, and I'll always reply definitely.
Oh, I love it. I see that Twitter internet is choppy on my end. I don't know if it's happening as well on social media, but definitely she just said you can connect with her on LinkedIn and any other platform if you Google her name. She's very incredible. So if you need a little bit more information around coding, designing, and accessibility, feel free to check her post. Feel free to follow her. I mean, personally, I like to follow incredible people, and that's really how I learn. But not only that, I invite also great people to the platform. So please feel free to join me next week as well, because this diverse perspective show is happening every Friday. All right, Sarah, thank you so much for joining me. Is there something else you want to share with the with people, or we are all good?
Yeah, I'll just share one line. I would say that like people might think about me as well, that she knows this thing, she has attained this thing. So I'll say that I'm still learning. This last April month only, I completed 4 5 courses completely. So even I am learning. So don't be afraid to learn, like you mentioned perfectly, and don't be afraid to start. You have to start at some point. So that's all I think, and I really enjoyed this session. Thank you.
Oh, thank you so much. Ah, this is fantastic. All right, people, you got it. If you want to learn more, learn with great content, learn from good people, and you will get in no time. You will probably get an expert. You will probably become an expert in your field, in your passion. All right, so I will see you next Friday, and bye bye, everyone.